Hi, my name is Josh Hill. I'm the Senior Vice President of Driving Force based in Edmonton, Alberta. Our sustainability story really began when our customers started asking for alternative fuel vehicles. And it wasn't our forte in the beginning. There was a long learning curve of trying to understand who would use these vehicles, how they would charge them, and how we would charge them. But luckily for us, a lot of that's in the past. We're now building facilities and retrofitting facilities to be more green friendly, to have electric charging on site, and to be able to provide vehicles to customers that they want. So the market demand is very strong for these vehicles, and that was really the start of our sustainability strategy. We're a vehicle rental, sales, and leasing organization and now fleet management. As I said, based in Edmonton, Alberta for 44 years. We are one of the largest fleets in Canada, spread out from Vancouver to Toronto and as well as the entire north. We fulfill production business in Vancouver primarily, as well as Toronto and Calgary. Our sustainability story is getting more immersive as we go. We have, as I said, we operate one of the largest fleets in Canada, and we're doing everything that we can to add as many battery electric vehicles, plug-in hybrid electric vehicles as we can to the fleet. It's a little bit of a slow process, but we have the opportunities through our great partners with Ford and General Motors and Tesla to add vehicles. But we're also working on a very big fleet management strategy. The idea being that you can be sustainable by adding electric vehicles, but you can also be sustainable by operating gas vehicles and ICE vehicles more effectively, more efficiently, knowing when the vehicles are being driven appropriately, knowing when they're being idled. All those types of things are helping us with our sustainability strategy. One of the interesting things about our industry is that when we buy a vehicle to rent it, it ends up in the hands of hundreds of customers over its lifespan, which in this particular area, battery electric vehicles and the new vehicles that are coming out, is very advantageous to the manufacturers. If they sell us a vehicle, we'll make sure to get it into the hands of a lot of important people it would be a great opportunity for them to test drive it. And there's no better test drive than to take it for weeks or months on end and get a good feel for what that vehicle is. So we really think of ourselves as being at the cutting edge of this opportunity, and we're doing everything we can to take advantage of it. We want to make sure that we get as many vehicles as we can so that you, our customers, have an opportunity to get behind the wheel and really understand what this technology is and how to make it work. So electric vehicles are not only good because they save money on fuel, but there's also a real world application that we're finding that they come with better data. So we've been able to get more tracking, more capabilities out of these vehicles, which have helped to make us smarter in how we operate them, and in turn help to make our customers a little smarter in how they operate them. They're very much in demand, as I've said, and we're very excited about that. But there is real world cost savings with running these vehicles, and that's not just that, and of course that helps with battery electric, but also as we go into plug-in hybrids and more conventional hybrids, hydrogen is something that we're exploring in Alberta. Those opportunities to make incremental changes will be a big opportunity when you run a large fleet like we do. We won't be able to turn over a fleet overnight to go from ICE to battery electric or what have you, but we will be able to make small improvements in the efficiency of our fleet over time, and over a long enough time horizon. I believe it will not only return great environmental opportunities, but also great financial opportunities. As the market has started to grow in alternative fuel vehicles, there's definitely a learning curve. You have to build out a facility that can charge it. You have to have a plan for running the vehicle. And obviously, there's the upside of that is there's obviously substantially less maintenance. So you do get some of that value returned to you, but you do have to have a plan for how you do it. So we made that a priority of ours to build out the infrastructure to be able to accommodate these vehicles. If you don't have a plan to begin with, it's a very difficult road after that. It certainly sounds like Alberta is going to lead the way in hydrogen vehicles. I know that's a constant conversation with our government. We're actually in conversations now with a group of people who are looking to do highway trucks and hydrogen conversions. So I know that's going to be a big part of it. We have a lot of wind and solar projects that are going in Alberta right now. So I think that we're starting to see the other side of that. And to be honest with you, some of the most invigorated customers of ours in this discussions, besides film production, are oil and gas customers. They understand that that's the future, and even the big oil and gas producers in Alberta understand that. They're investing in it as well. there's no denying that in the current market, it's difficult for enough vehicles to be produced to satiate the demand that's in the market. So we're making positive steps wherever we can to add as many electric and plug-in hybrid vehicles as we can. But this is more about iterations of improvement. It's about getting a little better on the vehicles in which we do now. So we'll do things like buy the smallest possible motor in an ICE vehicle that we can. The smallest motor that will get the job done. Less fuel spent is good for our customers, and it's good for us. We then look at fleet management and tracking and attempting to help by producing some business intelligence to our customers so that they can understand what's happening with their vehicles when they're not in front of them, right? Well, who's driving it? Who's driving too aggressively? Who's idling the vehicles for hours on end? What can we do to help to reduce the carbon footprint of those ICE vehicles? As we continue to do that, we'll continue to be better operators, but the real trend here is to procure as many of these vehicles as we can. And in the not too distant future, the supply chain should hopefully open up and production can meet demand, and we can have a real market that will help us to right size a fleet that really needs to be right sized. We've seen real benefit in being early adopters, being some of the first people to have vehicles, being the first people to try them, the first people in the market to put in equipment to charge them. And while that's painful, you get to learn a lot of lessons before everybody else. So being an early adopter has been one of the key strategies that we've used to help us with our sustainability pledge. And it's going really, really well. We wouldn't be where we were if we hadn't dove feet first into this 3-4 years ago. So if I can give you any advice at all, it's to be an early adopter and buy and figure it out as you go. If you wait for the perfect system and the perfect play, you might be waiting for a long time.